Hey guys, Ryan Bailey for Charlotte FC. This is Between Two Pints, and joining me today, two very special guests. We've got our president, Nick Kelly, and our sporting director, Zoran Krneta. Guys, welcome into the pub. We're in a pub, it's real. We're having drinks with each other. This is pretty amazing.
No, thanks for having us, Ryan. I really appreciate it. It's nice to be back out in public again.
It really is, Nick, it really is. And has that made the task easier of getting ahead to 2022? The fact that things are opening up, you know, people are getting out there now.
Yeah, it's nice to actually get out there and have the opportunity to greet people at the stadium, go out to other soccer events. That ability for us to truly engage with these fans over the course of the last, call it 30 to 60 days, has really made a difference in the momentum on everything from ticket sales to really just the excitement in the city. So I think that this has been something we've been asking for, and we've been fortunate that we're one of the few states that's the case.
And Zoran, it makes it easier for in-person scouting, for building the roster?
Absolutely, we can't wait, honestly. This is, we can't wait to start going to the games, watching the players live, meeting the players. Be nice to kind of know them a little bit better before we get them all over here. So, you know, going abroad, going to Europe, going around the world, scouting, it's a great help, and we can't wait to start.
Now, talking about building the roster, Nick, recently on your Twitter feed, you put a picture of yourself in a goalkeeper jersey from your earlier days. Has your agent been in touch with Zoran about getting on the roster yet?
No, and I think that everybody's been far from impressed with any of my soccer skills as I have been out and about. So I don't expect any phone calls anytime soon. So
I'm sure you're being modest. There, Nick. Zoran, talking about the roster, 5 players down already. Is this how we expected it to be at this point?
Yes, pretty much so. We wanted to build slowly. We wanted to build blocks. We got 5. We're very happy with all 5. We will be active in the rest of the transfer window. Most of the Europe is still open. It didn't even start the transfer window, so we'll still looking at MLS if there are possibilities for us to kind of maybe do early trade, and then Europe and the rest of the world if there is any good deals, rough diamonds, players that might make a difference. So yeah, we'll be active. It's 5 now. We might not stop there.
Any players in the near future?
Perhaps.
Keeping it tight, I like it, Zoran. A good question for both you guys. Obviously, president and sporting director. How much do your roles intertwine? How many of the same meetings you're in? Your objectives are obviously the same thing, but you're in slightly different areas of the club.
I mean, it's a lot, actually. I think that you look at what we're trying to do now, nobody knows who Charlotte FC is internationally. So, you know, Zoran does a great job of, you know, starting a year ago of reaching out and getting somebody like Christian Fuchs. It's our job to then utilize, you know, his excitement to go recruit more players. So we're helping on the recruiting side internationally, and then even now it's just preparing for the arrival of the first team. So we have a lot of interaction. I'd say we have 20% of our meetings overlap, and there's just a lot of one-on-one time to make sure both sides, the business side and the technical side, are going in the same direction, because we can't have, you know, one philosophy on one side of the house and a different philosophy on the other.
Yeah. And of course, if we persuade Nick to be one of our goalkeepers in our roster, then there will be even more interactions.
We'll work on that one, Zoran. We'll work on that one. Head coach, obviously head coach may be upcoming in the near future, Zoran. I know you can't tell us too much information, but just if you can tell me his name and when he exactly is arriving, that'd be great.
Oh, that's fine. That's okay. That's easy one then. Well, we've been talking about head coach for some time, and we've been telling fans and everyone else that he's coming. He will come eventually. We just can't tell yet because there are a couple of candidates that are really strong. We're looking at them, we're trying to finalize, we're trying to finish everything, we're trying to kind of make sure that this is the right person to lead us in 2022.
And how much say will the coach have on the roster as it's being built?
He'll be part of the process. He won't be a traditional manager type of a coach who decides on everything, but he'll be a head coach, and he'll be part of the process with the rest of us, choosing the right candidates, choosing the right players, fitting the right players in his own preferential style of play.
Now, Nick, a team's nothing without its fans, it's nothing without its community. Can you speak a little bit about what's upcoming for the fans and for the people in Charlotte and the Carolinas? Yeah,
so we've actually just, you know, we're gonna have our second Supporters Council meeting here this week, and our goal is really to get that much more refined on what does a game day tradition look like, where does our march to the stadium for our supporters group start, you know, what is the chants and cheers that we have, and even really what does our pregame ceremony look like. So it's actually finally starting to crystallize. I think we're starting to get to a point, which which is good. We're 8 months out, but I think at the same time, like, it's going to take a lot of practice. And I think that it sounds stupid to practice to be a fan, but we want to make sure that we are unique to not only Bank of America Stadium, but we're unique to soccer. So we want to make sure that we're doing research, but also moving the ball forward. So I think that, you know, we'll be in a really, really good spot come, let's call it Thanksgiving, to where if we had to do a game the next day, we'd be ready. So.
Fantastic stuff. Now, if you take a little walk down Mint Street, you can see some building work going on at the stadium. Any updates on what's happening in there? I understand you've been to check it out?
Yeah, I mean, I've been there almost every day to just kind of check out. So the East Gate, where the supporters gate is happening, is we've already erected where I guess the main signage is going to come up. The actual LED signs won't go up until post NFL season. And then same thing, the locker room was completely gutted. So we are, you know, the groundwork's being laid, the plumbing for the locker room is being laid, and then the tunnel club itself, or the vault, is actually, you know, you can start to see it coming to life. I think that every day there is significant progress, but I mean, that stadium is a complete construction zone. And so there's going to be a huge sprint over the course of the next 2 months to get ready for Panthers season. And then behind the scenes every day, just work and work and work. So I mean, the good thing is the first people to experience it will be Charlotte FC fans. But I mean, what you see today is progress, but what you'll see every month will look more and more real.
Excellent. Zoran, I had a virtual pint with Christian Fuchs last week. He was very excited about the construction, what's planned at Bank of America Stadium. Does that help you encourage new players to come to join the roster?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Christian was very impressed, I can tell you that, and he was seriously impressed, gone around, checked everything, asked a lot of questions. Yeah, it helps for all the players. One of the questions always, how many fans, how big the stadium, what is the atmosphere. So, and I'll use this opportunity as well to invite the fans and to make sure that they come when the game starts, when we start, to kind of be part of this kind of incredible experience. The more fans we have, the better the atmosphere, the better the team will play.
Absolutely. And talking about that team, we've got players from several different continents of different ages and different positions. How about homegrown players? How about players from Charlotte? Well, we have one already actually, but is there going to be a big emphasis on more of those players from the Carolinas?
We have a local player. He's not homegrown because he's not qualified for the homegrown for us, but he's a local player. And from North Carolina, we're looking at more. We hope our academy will produce the talents. There's no doubt about that. But we're also looking at potentially finding interesting young players from North and South Carolina who can be called homegrowns and bring into the first team for the first season, inaugural season.
You're both incredibly busy guys. I see it every day in the office. Nick, what's the next big thing? What's the next priority to get this team on track for you?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing for us is we've got our broadcast deal in place. Where now we need to finalize everything from who's our radio partner, who's our streaming partner, and then more than anything else, start to communicate game day expectations. And I think it's, you know, for us, like, we want to do it in the next 30, 60, 90 days, and we have these clear road marks, and we feel like we're on track. And I think that it's just making sure that we don't waste a day. So, I mean, there's a lot to do between now and then, but, you know, making sure we're also supporting Zoran and his team, because this transfer window is real small. So for us to make sure that we're selling ourselves the right way, I think is the biggest piece for us. So just making sure we stay focused is really our top priority right now.
Fantastic stuff. Gents, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing a pint with you today.
Cheers, man.
Let's do a cheers.
It's real life.
It is indeed. One final question before I let you go, though. I need a picture 2022, that inaugural home game coming out at Bank of America Stadium. Zoran, how do you see it?
I'll be super excited. I don't think I'll be sleeping a couple of nights before. I think I'll be awake, kind of thinking how this whole atmosphere will look like, how the team would look like. I'm hoping for a winning team from day one. That's my hope. This is what we're building the team for. This is what is why I'm here, and that's why Nick is here, why everyone is here.
Nick Kelly in goal on that first day, yes, no?
Hey, look, you'll have a chance, you know. It's a fair competition. We'll take him on a pre-season, I can tell you that.
All right, that sounds fair compromise. Nick, how about you, that first game?
I mean, we've made it pretty public. Our number one expectation is to sell out. So we expect a full Bank of America Stadium. And hopefully it's an experience that they haven't seen before, not only there, but in soccer. So we're building something special. So as long as we're sold out, we'll deliver. So that's our only hope.
I like the sound of it. Gentlemen, one more cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.